David Hayes. I'm from Haynell in Essex, but now I live in Haggerston in London, in Hackney. 30 years old. I am a barista, but I've worked in the service industry for 11 years or more. So I do many things, and in my spare time I also like to do drag. Today I'm making sausage rolls. I'm making sausage rolls because it's probably one of my favourite things to eat. They're quite easy to make, and I've never really bought one from a store ever again because they just aren't anywhere near as good as homemade ones. The sausage rolls are made with sausage meat, puff pastry, garlic powder, grated onion, salt, pepper, then you can add things to taste, I suppose. So today we made them with whole grain mustard and horseradish. I've always worked in like a catering industry, so food has always been part of my work. I've either worked as a waiter, I've worked as a kitchen porter, I've worked in bars, I've worked in restaurants, I've worked in dive bars, all sorts of different places. Food has just always kind of been around me. I remember cooking with my mum on Sundays. My mum taught me how to make a Sunday roast and all the details that went into it. I've always enjoyed food. That was something that was very important to me, flavours and different flavours. And when I got into working in restaurants, and sometimes I was working in some of the fanciest restaurants in London, seeing how they made ingredients and like made these amazing flavours. And then only recently have I started cooking more myself and doing it as more of a thing to relax myself and something that I can enjoy for me rather than for someone else. So I've started baking a lot more and cooking a lot more and realising I've actually got quite a bit of a flair for it. I just find it relaxing. You can just lose yourself a little bit. It's quite stressful sometimes living in the modern world, and when you're cooking you just have to concentrate on doing something, and when it comes out good it's a nice little buzz. It's a nice little feeling that you've spent some time doing that, and the fact that you put so much effort into something and it came out so good, and when people appreciate that, it's a nice thing. I found it very hard to come out as gay just because in my year there was 2 other gay men, but that was the only other gay people that was in the whole of school. They were openly gay, and they were so openly gay and so confident. They were so like almost like what at the time stereotypically gay men were shown to be, and I had no experience apart from seeing that, and they were both 2 very slim, very twinky, gorgeous gay guys, and I was not that when I was growing up in Essex. I was this very pudgy little gay guy, and the only other gay representation I really saw was programs like Queer as Folk that I used to sneakily stay up and watch when my parents went to bed. The representation of gay men there was still gorgeous slim men, which I was not. And I think that in part was what I identified is what I had to be and what I had to become growing up as a gay man in Essex. That's kind of what encouraged my eating disorder to an extent, I suppose, because I thought if I was ever going to be accepted as what I was, then I had to fit into this box of what a gay man should be and should I. Once I started starving myself, I began to see myself more as a representation that I saw of a gay man. I started to fool myself and believe that I was actually fitting in by not actually being myself at all. At 30 years old, I struggle that I have even from the 16-year-old gay boy that I was all that time ago. But it sticks with you. Those kind of things never leave. It's only about identifying those things. And I think for me, I talk quite openly about my eating disorders, because if we don't talk about it, then you've not truly identified it as a problem, and it was a problem, and I'm not going to let that run my life. I'm going to talk about it, and I'm not going to conform to what a magazine is telling me is beautiful. I'm going to tell myself I'm beautiful.